So my name's Zach Miller, and I just wanted to give my testimonial for Jack's Bulletproof Trust. And usually when you come across Jack and his trust, you're kind of in one of two scenarios. Number one, either you really just don't have a lot of money or assets to protect, or two, you have a boatload, really. And no matter where you are, it always seems like the trust is just able to help you. And if I can kind of just go a little bit into what I mean by that, if you're sitting over here where you don't have a lot of assets, you think trusts are for rich people, they're for the ultra wealthy, for the elite. I'm just gonna tell you right now, that is not the case. That is actually what the elites would want you to actually think and believe. But the very fact is, it's free to open up a trust. It's free to operate a trust, and the benefits that come from it are so numerous. I mean, I'll go through and list a few, and some of them I know may even sound incredulous, unbelievable, but just hear me out with this. The first thing, once you open that bank account through Chase, Schwab, TD Ameritrade, there's so many banks that will allow you to open up this trust bank account. But once you have that, you can now operate in commerce, just like you or me would operate with a credit card or paying our bills. Instead of paying our bills through my name and signing everything, you're just going to use it through the trust. So everything stays the same. From the outside, no one would know that my life has changed just 180 with this trust. But from the inside in, I know everything has changed. And the way that you operate through this trust is so simple, and the benefits that you reap, it's almost implausible that you would even think twice once you really get to see how powerful this is. For example, once you put all of your assets into the trust, you're now protected from any lawsuit. So if I were to ever get into a car accident and, worst case scenario, I happen to injure somebody or, involuntary manslaughter, that happens, all of my assets would be protected for my family, for my children, for everybody, for the future. The only thing that would actually be at risk would be the car itself and any money which is inside the trust that owns the car. And what this is often going to do is just going to allow you to not put all your eggs into one basket. You're gonna be able to put your home into one area, your cash assets into another, your car into another. So that way, if you ever have one piece, one chink of your armor that's weak, it won't leave everything else up to attack. Now, that's just the protection side. When we actually get into what it does when it comes to taxes, I think that's sometimes one of the most incredible things that I've ever been able to witness myself. And the simple idea comes from the idea of income. And you have to report your taxes to the IRS. I'm not saying don't do that. You absolutely have to. But when you operate through a trust, the trust actually has no tax liabilities. And it's actually located under the IRS's own guidebook as a 508(1)(ca). And basically what that means is it's just like if you applied to the IRS to operate as a nonprofit. But the beauty is that you don't actually have to submit to the IRS. You simply let them know, I am this, I request an EIN, and that's it, you're done. You never have to file again because that trust doesn't intake income. It's absolutely amazing. And I mean, over and over, I've seen people where whether they have, a few $1,000s they make each year or millions, when they operate through the trust, there is no reporting that you have to do. And this has even been from the horse's mouth. Steve Miller, the previous or ex-IRS director, he has actually come forward and even said that reporting your taxes in the entire tax system is voluntary reporting. It's something that you do. They're never going to force you to do. So when you operate through a trust, and it's even by their laws that you're doing this all correctly, again, it's just something where a lot of people almost feel like they're doing something wrong, but it isn't. It's the most amazing thing. It's just you get to live your life without the government ever getting involved in any of your affairs again. If you put your home into the trust, now, if you ever had, for example, a search and seizure or a warrant, etc., they can never come onto your property because it's not actually, the jurisdiction is not in the public domain anymore. They have no authority to encroach on your private property because if they did, that would actually violate so many laws. You could actually take the state, the SWAT, the police, the headquarters, all to court because of these violations. So they even know And maybe not every police officer, but the very ones at the top understand what a trust is, what it protects, and how powerful it is, that they kind of don't even mess with it. Once they learn about it, it's kind of out of their mind. They don't even want to look at it, think about it, or anything.